What I'm going to do is I'm letting for some people to come on in, and then I'm hitting with that commercial. Cool. Oh, welcome to the Derek Muhammad Show. I'm your host, Derek Muhammad. Look, we got Supreme Wisdom Wednesdays, Fight Club. Fight Club. I love Fight Club, by the way. And I was blessed enough to run into one of the great fight teachers, great martial artists, great personal self-defense to come on the show today. His name Lyte Burly. Before I bring him into the fray, I want to introduce you to who Lyte Burly is, and I want y'all to check out his resume. Y'all feeling free to do that? All right, so let me bring Lyte Burly into the system. Bear with me 1 second, because I'm still getting the hang of this thing right here. So, let's see. Stop the screen. Let's share the screen. Entire screen.
Boy, Lyte Burly, BK, know what it is. Sometimes they like us, sometimes they love us, sometimes they hate us, but we controversial, so let's get it. Never late, never soon. Guess who stepped in the room like Kaboom, a one-man platoon. I keep them buzzing like an ounce of shroom.
Bear with me right here, family. I'm having a little technical difficulty.
Man can blink, part of a fool, homie, this I knew. So quietly I built my game, my perspective grew. Soon you learn that the skies ain't blue, and them lies that they told to you prevent you from being top gunner, #1 stunner. Yup, cause they don't want boss niggas, they want butlers. I'm a problem, I'm rebellious like dog and mouth. I touched 100,000 and kept counting. It's the same song, if they ain't talking, you're gone wrong. Cause I'm so controversial, can't reverse me, yes sir. Privately or publicly, bad publicity can't punish me. So you can talk your thumbs about me, show your emotion, it's free promotion. You can't roll your eyes, don't like it, speak your hatred, it's advertisement. Come on, even on the bad day, blunts in the ashtray, radar up. You can't sneak shit past me. I let the past be, cause if it passed me, like Nostradamus and Buddha, I glimpse the future. What I seen, life's a game that only favors the loser. Nobody makes it out alive. Low odds reveal I'm so high, now it all makes sense. I left the nonsense and ain't been seen since. Shine so bright, I gotta squint. Grind so hard, I lost my innocence. I got my second win. It's time to sprint with my grip in the clinch. Got the game in the dope fiend. Flow like protein. I'm so controversial, can't reverse me, yes sir. Privately or publicly, bad publicity can't punish me. So you can talk your guns about me, show your emotion, it's free promotion. You can't roll your eyes, don't like it, speak the hatred, it's advertisement. It ain't nothing, it's just my function. Cause commotion in the ocean of emotions. I'm in locomotion with hydro blunts roasting over zippos. Honeys rubbing their nipples. Money don't double, it triples. We hustling, even struggle stepping in the recession. We hustling. You mumbling, my money loud when it speaks. So shorty like, wow, great Scott, so you a thief? Ha ha ha, had to find that funny. Watch your mouth, I go hard for this money. I did the bungee and plunged in the game. You may not like it, but you will know the name. I'm so controversial, can't reverse me. Privately or publicly, bad publicity can't punish me. So you can talk your thumbs about me, show your emotion.
Good grief. Man, look, hold up. Wait up. Hold up, man. Hold up. Wait 1 second, y'all. Good grief, man. Hold up. You punched the dude, he fell back and then fell on his face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when you know that's a different type of knockout.
Oh my God, he went
Yeah.
back and fell on his face. I seen him fall on their face. I seen him go back. I never seen that one. That's the first time for me, bro.
Salute,
Oh
salute.
my
That's that
God,
work. That's that work.
that
That
is
was a great
major,
time.
bro. That is major. Look.
Salute.
Let me introduce my guest, Lyte Burly, Sensei, one of the co-trainers of the fine art 52 blocks. Let me read your resume before we get started with this.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for coming to the Derek Muhammad Show. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Derek Muhammad Show. Hit like, press the like button, share. I got the great Lyte Burly up in the building tonight, man.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button for sure. Facts. Okay, look. Let me introduce yourself. Master Lyte Burly has been practicing various martial arts styles with a heavy focus on boxing for over 3 decades. He applies his knowledge daily by sparring with practitioners from different styles and backgrounds. One of the few masters that's always willing to put on the gloves to spar with strangers. He has put in thousands of hours of training to continue to do so. His students has won local competitions as well as Golden Gloves, and he is the practitioner of what they call 52 blocks boxing, which is a martial art that was developed in the streets and in the prisons of the United States. It's a martial art practice heavily focused on self-defense blocks, elbow strikes, feints, sound distortion, and many other tactics that play into the defense. Lyte Burly is the most prominent figure in the 52 block system and has developed his teaching. This system is he developed this system in New York and well over a decade. Man, welcome to the Derek Muhammad Show, sir.
You, man. Thank you, man. That was big. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you read it well.
Man, look, I came across you because a good friend of both of ours, Joe Caffey, a martial artist.
Yes. Salute to Joe. Salute to Joe. Yeah.
He said you need to holler at Lyte Burly, get him on your show. You need to actually work out with him. Have you been training? I said, man, I got this addict. I ain't been training. Man, I'm on COVID. But we hollered. I immediately signed up to your course, and I'm putting it in practice.
Oh, man. Thank you. Support.
Absolutely.
Salute. Thank you.
What I wanted to do, because what the Derek Muhammad Show does is we teach knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, and refinement, right?
Yes,
and normally what I do is I have what they call Supreme Wisdom Wednesdays, where I go over the knowledge, I go over the 120, I go over just anything. But what I wanted to do is practice the physicality of self-defense. And I wanted to share with my viewing audience how important it is to have the martial in your life. So feel free to jump in and talk on the importance of that.
Well, my teacher told me something that, and I had a lot of teachers, but my last 2 teachers were very prominent to, me becoming Lyte Burly. And one thing he said to me that I never had a teacher say to me, he said, man, you know why you need to learn martial arts? He said, martial arts makes useless men useful. And I thought it's so simple, but so real. And that I carried that. And this is the reason why martial arts is needed, to make useless people useful. And useless as in you're not serving yourself. Because martial arts will make you serve yourself. You have to. You're with yourself. Like I started, I started the meditating, my meditational thing, and I love it. But also I learned that the meditation is happening while you're training. You can sit down and try to meditate, or you can just meditate, and I think the trying of meditate stops the actual help of meditation. It's just to go into that moment. Some moments I'm shadow boxing and, I feel like I leave the earth. I feel like I'm not even here no more energetically. And, and that's when I started seeing the meditation is all around you. You can definitely sit down and get some more, but it's all around you. And when you have it in that way, it serves your life more. Your martial arts start to become principles in your life over fighting systems. Like something Roberto Sharp told me. He said, man, fighting is like the smallest branch off the tree of martial arts.
Mm,
There's so many
mm.
other branches that you get besides learning how to per se kick ass, you know.
Right.
And then as I started, you know, and 52 was always with me and I did other arts. But as I got deeper into 52, I started to understand that 52 was the one art that wasn't saying kill the man in front of you more than
Mm,
it was saying protect yourself.
mm.
And
Yeah.
then deeper meanings of the defense became physical, went from physical to mental to spiritual. Now the defense is spiritual. I can, you know, I had a guy, you know, in my earlier days, everybody that followed my path, no, my thing was come to the park, let's rock and roll in a nice way. You know, it was
Right.
never intended
Right.
in a bad way, but we warriors and we got to figure out what's what. And the only
Right.
way to figure it out is with other warriors. And it got crazy, you know. A lot of
Right.
people were showing up. And
Right.
then later recently I had a dispute with the guy that came and he went into a thing that he wanted to fight me and everything and he was going on and talking and I said, well, maybe if you stop talking we can hurry up and get this fight started. And he just stared at me and I learned the power of words. When you train steel comes through your words. The brother didn't end up fighting me. He ended up hugging me and apologizing, you know, because you can't really bring yourself to violate another man when he really hasn't done nothing to you.
That's
And
true. Not
yeah,
no civilized person. At
not a
least.
civilized person. And then
Right.
and the good thing about it is, you know, any person that can cross that barrier, that's what your training was for.
Exactly.
You know, for the uncivilized person who will cross that barrier, no
You got it.
violation, it's
Right.
time to rock and roll. And I
Right.
guarantee you, the universe will open up the treasure trove of stuff that you need to win that fight. And,
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know, if
So
you are, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead and finish your sentence.
No, I was just going to say if your cause is right, then your fist is might. Like I've never lost a fight when my cause was right, ever.
Man, man, that's beautiful. So, you know, because this is the thing. A lot of people don't understand the power of meditation. They're like,
Mhm.
Derek, I tried to meditate, but it's so hard. And I said, all you got to do, you put too much emphasis on it. A lot of people
Hmm.
are afraid of their thoughts. They don't
Yeah,
have the passion, the patience to do it. You know, they just can't get quiet.
exactly,
They can't sit
exactly.
still. What is some of
Yeah.
the techniques that you would say to a person watching right now on how they can take advantage of meditation?
Well, the like you said, when I started meditating, it was definitely hard to keep my mind focused because I was trying to meditate. And I think the trying is where you lose out. Like I read this story about a Buddhist monk that seen another Buddhist monk meditating. And he said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm meditating to reach enlightenment." And then the Buddhist monk picked up a rock and he started shining it. And the other Buddhist monk said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna shine this rock until I can see my reflection." And he said, "Well, that'll never happen." And he said, "Well, you'll never meditate to enlightenment." And it's a go thing. It's a go thing, not a try thing. A try thing will keep you at the start. You got to go. So what I tell my peoples that are in trying to get on that path is to find what you like and zone out. Like if
Mm,
you know that zone becomes the meditation, and you can build from there. You know, I like to train, so and I'm training most of the time. So most of the day I'm in my own head. You know, so the
right,
meditation is happening and it's happening naturally. And that there you can build upon actually sitting down and then quieting yourself. But I always say go do what you love. You know, what you love, if you do it and do it enough, you'll find meditation within that.
man. That's word, man. That I love that because it's like it's actually the practice of a spirituality in its realest sense, man. You
Yes.
know, because a lot of
Yes.
people they pray, but the
Hmm.
meditation is the flip side of prayer. You praying to your higher self. Am I
That's right. That's
higher
right.
self? So you can
That's right.
achieve the prayers that you're worthy of to the praying to the outside source.
That's
Would you
right.
agree on that?
Exactly, exactly. And when you take out the outside source and only concentrate on the inner source, You see the prayers and meditation is already happening at your higher self. You just have to reach your higher self. It's already happening. Just like
Right.
that's what the Buddhist monk was saying. It's a switch. You don't try, you do. Like, and that's the formula of life. You don't try, you just do. Because if I tried to work out, I'd find reasons not to work out.
Right.
If I tried, my
Exactly.
foot hurt. Oh, that good movie's coming on.
Right.
Oh, man, my belly's feeling a little queasy. No, you
Right.
got to get up and do. Yeah, you
And
got
you
to just
just
do.
inspired me to overcome the sciatic I got.
You
I'm
got
not
to.
gonna worry about. I'm just gonna do it. Pain and
You
no
got to.
pain, no gain. Sensei, no
Man,
pain, no
listen.
gain.
Listen, I went to my favorite Mexican restaurant and I got one of these sodas. They've got these good sodas, but they pressurized. It tapped against the counter, blew up in my hand, and I cut my hand open. And
Oh,
so, I just started doing sit-ups.
oh,
Can't do push-ups. I did sit-ups. See, you
right.
can always do something.
You
See,
can always.
there's no excuse. There's no excuse. Like you can always do something. You can work around what's going on. But to let that one thing get you, it'll, bring you back into, I'm just gonna wait till it blow over. Like I tell my fighters that hurt themselves, do fight study. Go watch some fights. You can't train your mind.
Yes,
Go
sir.
watch that fight study. Same thing. They've proven what you've taken in your mind isn't too far off from actual training. Like they let people see themselves running and then compared it to a person that was actually running, and the energetic and the mind synapses wasn't too far off. Meaning what you believe you're doing, you start to do because your higher self knows no time. It doesn't know time. It doesn't know that it just knows what you got at that moment. So if you see yourself winning, you win. Your higher self will bring that to you. If you
Man,
see
that's true.
yourself losing, it brings you that.
And you know what? I wanted to say, okay, you touched on so much there.
Mm-hmm.
What was the ingredient to make you? When did you start the
Uh-huh.
path to your warriorhood?
Oh man, that is a good story because that story was a great teacher, Roberto Sharp. If you're ever in New York, look him up. This man changed my goddamn life. Well, I've been training with Roberto, and I had started my training session with him. I had been training with a karate guy. I didn't think I was getting the information. I had been reading books, and they were saying when you're ready, your teacher will appear. So I ended up walking past this park I never walked past, and there was Roberto walking in circles. Like it was like mist was around him. It was like a real magical moment. I walked up to him and I was like, "What are you doing, Tai Chi?" He said, "No, this is Pa Qua." He gave me his card and walked away from me. He didn't even sell himself, and that's what really got my attention too. Was a lot of people would sell themselves. So eventually, I started training with him, and I was going like Wednesdays and Fridays. And it'd been about like 6 months in, so we were getting to know each other a lot. And I got into a fight uptown. And in this fight, I'm ready to rock and roll. So, I'm thinking karate because I had taken karate before I met Roberto. So that's what I was really thinking I was going to execute. So I get in front of this kid, and, we dancing. So I tell my right leg, all right, get off the ground and kick him in the face. And my right leg was like, nah, not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It was, yeah. So I ended up brawling this fight out. It was like everything that I thought I was going to do, I didn't do. And I was so discouraged. The white of my eye was red. And I went back to class the next day, and Roberto came in. He came in with this big smile. And he rode up, and as he got closer, the smile disappeared. And he said, "What happened?" I said, "Well, I got into a fight." And it was rough. I had to really, dig in to get it. And he said, "Man, let me tell you a story about a Tai Chi master and his son. He sent his son to the store to get some milk. The son got into a fight at the store. He hit the guy with the Tai Chi blast. On the way, the guy ripped his shirt off. So when he got back to his father said, 'What happened?' He said, 'Man, yeah, I got into a little scuffle. I hit him with the Tai Chi blast that you taught me.' He said, 'Well, what happened to your shirt?' He said, 'Well, he grabbed it after I blasted him.' He said, 'Well, go down to the basement and train some more. Next time, come back with your shirt.' And Roberto leaned into me and he said, 'Next time, Jamar, come back with your shirt.' And that changed my life. I never, in the disappointment on his face, the next day, I started my journey. And from that point on, I trained 7 hours every day for the next 15 years. I didn't stop. I became a machine. And just that disappointment, because the thing I was going to tell myself was, this is it. I can sit around going to kung fu class Wednesdays and Fridays, or I can go for the goal and see if this shit is really what they said it is. If you really dedicate this much time to something, that it will crack open. And that was my mission. And here I am.
Man, that's a beautiful story. Okay, explain all the arts that you practice.
Oh, Roberto was a mixed martial artist himself. So when I would come to class, some classes would be Tai Chi, some classes would be Wing Chun, some classes would be Muay Thai, some classes would be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So it was him that opened me up to all of these different things. And so when I met Wilson was very skilled in Tai Chi, Pa Kwa, and Shin Yi, and boxing. And he's the one that really turned me around with boxing. But it was with Roberto that I studied Wing Chun, Pa Kwa, Tai Chi, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The only thing I didn't take from the man was Capoeira, because it was a lot of flips and stuff. And not to take nothing away from the brothers. I love their thing. I love the thing. But at that point in my mind, I wanted everything that was rough that pertained to like getting it in, and I couldn't really see it with Cap. I knew the kicks was dangerous, but I went more towards Muay Thai and stuff like that. Right. And so my teachers were mixed martial artists, so they opened me up to a whole world of different martial arts.
That brings to mind with the incomparable great Bruce Lee, when he was always searching and trying to better his art.
Yes.
And I remember the Game of Death, when he went to each floor and he had to figure out how to deal with each opponent on each floor.
That's
and when
right.
I remember when he dealt with Jabbar was long. He had
different.
And he had to get on the ground game with Jabbar.
That's right. That's right.
Man. So what you said brought back to mind that whole point. Let me ask you this. Give us your size, because a lot of people think, oh man, he probably 6'2", 250. You know what I'm saying? So give us your physicality.
I'm the brother in this. I'm the brother in the crowd that they're gonna want to fight me first. I'm 5'6". I'm 145 to 150. When right now I'm probably at my heaviest. I'm probably at 155. I'm light skinned. I'm from, I smile a lot. So, the fight was coming to me.
Right. And you're going to be ready to meet them.
Yeah. I surprise a lot of my opponents, when it gets time that, you can't really judge fight by look. Like, it's an unjudgeable thing. It's
not a good thing.
I've been in the gym with 15-year-old boys that will serve you up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With no body, like a little man chest, and they will beat you down. So you really can't call the fight of anybody. But in the past, I used to, it used to bother me. Like, man, I'm the one they always wanted to fight. But then what had happened was it gave me a lot of chance to prove myself. Through 52, I had to prove myself. Like, they came to the park to fight me. Like, and in that resume video, there's a part where you can see I'm outside. That was a real fight. And
I figured, because you slammed them on the concrete.
Yeah. We went to concrete. I told the brother, I was like, we shouldn't do this, but they were pushy about it. They was like, nah, you're a fraud, and somebody has to show the world you're a fraud. And I was like, I don't know if it's gonna go that way, brother. I teach a black martial art. We're not gonna look good. Like, I tried everything I could to make sure that fight didn't happen. That was the first time I ever did that, because a fight before then, I fought real hard, and I was really trying to hurt that guy. And he called my teacher, and my teacher sent me a T-shirt on it, and it had LLP. And he said, you know what that stands for? Low level punk. He said, that's all you'll ever be if anybody can make you fight. So when that next fight came around, I was trying my best. I'm like, brothers, I don't think we should do this. And they was like, nah, we're coming. You're going to get your day. Your day is coming. And they came. They had a camera crew. I was like, oh, my God, you guys, it's real. This is big business.
They showed up like HBO Fight Night, man.
Yeah, it was like HBO Fight Night. He had his students with him.
Oh.
He drove from Syracuse. Like that was like a 7-8 hour drive.
Oh, he was
They
committed.
drove. He was coming to get me. So
Oh,
I beat
man.
him up. I beat him up in 46 seconds.
And he lost all those students.
Yeah, in front of all his students, shook his hand and told him and treated him like a man. And that's what I learned from my other fight is that, you know, when you're doing your work, rage is not needed. You know, rage and anger, that's not needed in the solution. Matter of fact, it'll complicate things and it'll destroy good technique. I tell all my students, anger destroys good technique. The last thing you can get is angry. And that's the confusing part about fighting. That's going to take time for you to understand, you know, because everything else tells you to fight. You hit the bag, you spar, you know, everything tells you to go. But no, you can't just go. You know, you know, it's not about just a go situation. So, you know,
Go ahead. I'm sorry about
no,
that.
I'm saying so you have to learn how to read the situation. I think part of being a good fighter is learning how to read the situation. Not everybody needs a punch in the face, but some people do.
Right, exactly. Yeah, some people do need a punch in the face.
Some people
right
do.
about that. So, okay, I'm here with Master Lyte Burly, who
Yes, sir.
is the teacher of the System 52 blocks. He's
Yes.
here. And and make sure you go to Derek Muhammad Show on YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe, share, and smash it. Bang, bang, bang. So look, okay, so 10,000 hours.
Yes.
John Maxwell said 10,000 hours of anything makes you a master. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I've heard that saying. Yeah, I agree.
10,000 hours of sparring, and you spar every day religiously.
Yeah, yes.
That's going to the temple. That's going to the synagogue. That's going to the mosque, the church, right?
That's going to the church. You know, like I was extremely blessed because my life opened up at a time where I had the time. Like my teacher told me, I asked him one time, I was like, how come we don't see them great martial artists that we used to hear about that had tornado kicks? Like, you know, what does it take to be like that type of thing? He said, man, you need one commodity, and you have to be two people. You have to be one or two people. Either you have to be extremely rich or extremely poor, because both those people have the commodity of time.
And
that
is so
time.
true. And you had the time. So
I had time.
Give us example what the 52 block system details for
man,
your audience. What does
it? Man, it is the defense of self-preservation. It's defense in its totality, and I mean that by feints, interceptions, blocks, clever footwork, setting traps, learning how to think in the fight. Like 52 opens up so many avenues because there's two sides of fighting. There's offense and defense, but there's only one that's really naturally in us, and that's defense. Offense isn't the natural thing. We have to learn how to do it. You don't just punch. You have to learn how to punch. You have to learn how to kick. You have to learn how to grapple. Defense is naturally in you. Now, it can be tweaked and made better, but you have a defensive mind that's naturally built. That's your self-preservation mind. Running is a defensive tactic. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. That's why some shit break out, people get to running. You know, that's in you. That's in you. You know what I'm saying?
Fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So 52 looks at defense in the totality, and what that helps to me, it helps build your offense. Like, it's like driving in traffic. Like, you can't do burnouts until you learn how to drive in traffic. Defense teaches you how to drive in the traffic of offense. Punches coming at you, and you got to return. Like, you know, it's hard not to close your eyes when you fight. You know, I have to teach my fighters how to control their eyes, how not to look directly at your opponent, so that way your eyes don't take in too much information. You get the blinking, and you don't see the punches. So 52 has helped me with all of that. So it's defense in its fullest. It's the second side of fighting. It's the reason why we have boxing. You know, it was black fighters that brought defense into boxing. If that's why it's the sweet science. Before we entered the game, it was a brutal sport. It was a brutal, manly sport. Then
Right.
they introduced black fighters, and it became the sweet science.
Jack Johnson. Shout out
Jack
to Jack
Johnson. Shout out to Jack Johnson, man. You know, the first revolutionary. They don't even give him his credit for what he did for the black struggle. They got one. I read one story. Jack Johnson came through a town. He was speeding. The cop stopped him and said, "Yo, Jack, you came through here speeding. That's $100 ticket." Jack gave him $200. He said, "Man, look, you niggas don't even know how to add." He said, "No, I'm giving you the extra 100 because when I come back through here, I'm gonna be going just as fast." And you might as well get that money now.
Yes.
What?
I love that story. You know, a lot of people don't even know he invented the wrench.
Wow. Talk about it. Talk about it. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Put it out there. You know, he was damn near the first fugitive. He fled from America and went over. They begged him to come back.
Begged him to come back, and then they
begged him to come back.
They forced him into taking a dive so they could get that white crown back.
That's right.
They forced him to take.
That's right.
And you know the sad part, Joe Louis and all the other ones didn't give him his props on paving the way for him because they had that control.
No, what they did was they used Jack as the model of a black man you didn't want to be. And that's what they told Joe Louis. They told Joe, you don't want to be like Jack. So when you knock a white fighter out, don't do no craziness. Don't do nothing that they can bring back to us and stuff like that. And all of that was because of Jack Johnson. But what happened to Joe Louis was they robbed him of all his money. So did that work? Did it work? It didn't work. No. It didn't work. And that's the saddest thing that they don't tell about Joe Louis stories, that Joe tried to do it right and got royally fucked. Big time. He died broke. They took money from him after he went and served his country. They turned around and put taxes on and then took all his money from him. After he went and did the right thing. So shout out to Jack Johnson. Shout out to
Jack Johnson. That's the reason why they made King Kong. That's what I was told.
That's right.
They made King Kong.
And to put it out there, one of the only true consecutive champions from the Chitlin circuit. 10 black men in the ring blindfolded. Jack Johnson was a constant winner. Look it up, the Chitlin circuit.
Wow.
10 black men in the ring blindfolded. Jack Johnson, Jack Bowe, winners off of this circuit.
Wow.
Blindfolded.
I love that Black History moment. So look, Lyte Burly, Gold Gloves Boxing. Tell us about the boxing aspect.
Man.
Before we move on.
Oh, well, you know, the boxing aspect was always there. You know, when I grew up, a lot of the brothers that I seen doing 52 were either Golden Glove winners or they were amateur boxers. So they had a different swing to it. And that's with Wilson. When I got with Wilson helped me refine. Like a lot of people say, you know, like the way you do 52 looks different. And what it is just that it's more refined. You know, it's not as chaotic. I don't believe in freestyle fighting. I believe in you need to know what you're doing before you can freestyle. Like there's a freestyle that happens with fighting, but it comes through structure. You know, it's like the 48 laws of power. When you read that book, the last law is assume formlessness and throw the book away. So there's a freestyle after structure, but not before structure. So a lot of the other 52 block guys, they were freestyling before structure, and I called them on it. Like I tell people, like I go at every art I know. I'm not one that just accepts something blindly and say, just because you say it works, I gotta follow you blindly. No, I'm gonna shake it up. I shook up 52. I told the 52 brothers that dancing around in front of me will get you hurt. You better have a purpose to that dance, or you'll be dancing on your back. You know, you know, and the same thing with Wing Chun. I told the Wing Chun guys in the other arts is that you can't go out there in the kung fu stance and think you're ready to bang. Like you gotta like holding your hands up. It's a skeleton thing. It's not owned to the boxer to hold your hands up and protect your chin. That's just good for your skeletal frame for releasing power. So that's not the boxer stand. You come out of your mother with your hands up. hands up, chin down, knees up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
a defensive position. That's the
Right.
ball. You curl up. So
Right.
that's just a good skeletal thing. So that certain types of elements I brought in was just more scientific. So it appears to make my 52 blocks looks different from other guys, but it's just that we throwing left hooks, we throwing correct punching. Thanks to Wilson Pitts, one of the greatest teachers out. If you're listening right now, love you to death. Like he told me before this. He said, "Lyte, you slap like you punch like a girl." And that, and we had to investigate that. I'm like, well, I can't be out there punching like no girl. You're gonna have to change me. You have to fix me up, sir. And he fixed me right on up. Yeah, he fixed me right on up. Yeah, we ain't slapping with these punches. We throwing them right. So because of that, I went to go get my boxing license, and while I was there, the teacher was asking everybody what they do, and I said, I do 52 blocks. He said, "Oh, 52 bullshit." I was like, "Whoa, brother." I don't know what version you seen, but mine ain't got nothing with that bullshit. He said, "So you saying you can block my punches?" I said, "Well, I'm saying I'll defend myself." Put it like that. So he said, "Well, I'm gonna throw the jab at you." So we in the middle of the class. I got the teacher popping the jab at me. I'm catching this shit. And he said, "Well, if you ever got a fighter, you would just get him hurt." And from then on, I said, "Oh, well, you better watch your mouth." I went and got me a fighter, young Burley. We went and got young Burley, and we started training, and we jumped on the amateur circuit, and we started fighting, and we 15 fights in, young Golden Gloves came, we missed it. I judged it wrong, we missed it, so I'm mad. I'm like, damn, I didn't train my boys and let him down. I'm talking to one of my coaches, and he said, Golden Gloves happens in every state at a different time. He said, Georgia's Golden Gloves is next week. I said, watch your mouth. I jumped in the car. We drove to Georgia. I got us all hotel rooms, and we jumped into the Georgia Golden Gloves, and we kicked ass. And we walked away with the championship.
Oh, man, that's what's up. And then you went back to the commissioner, the license, and say, look what I got here.
By the time I made it back to New York, we went back to Gleason's gym. Everybody had their heads down. They ain't see me no more. Yeah. They ain't want to talk. They ain't see me. I'm like, they ain't see me. They ain't want to talk no more.
Yeah. That's what's up. So let me ask this, because I like all the various forms too. Explain to my audience, and for everybody listening, I'm here with Master 52 Blocks, Lyte Burly in the building.
Right, in the building.
Make sure y'all check out his website. Get you some online classes. Check out his resume. He's one of the very few masters that will get in the ring or any ring and rough it up with somebody.
Oh, man.
$155.
Too many experiences. Too many experiences, man. I went to Johnny Taco's gym, and Mayweather's young killer was up in there. Hold on. I went to Rolando Romeo. Y'all check him out. He is knocking everything out. The young man is a straight killer. So I go up in the gym with my DVD. I'm showing my DVD. That young killer said, "Lyte, could you get in the ring and prove it?" I said, "What? What's you talking to me? Somebody give me a set of gloves." And I jumped in there, and me and that little young killer got it on, and he respected Lyte Burly after. Shout out to Rolando Romeo. He know my body game ain't nothing to play with. Ain't nothing to play with. We mixed it up many times, proving that thing there, proving it, and shout out to everybody that gave me a chance to step on their stage. But yes, I done jumped in there with 290-pound men, and it got crazy.
Yeah. So look, we here on Supreme Wisdom Wednesday with Lyte Burly. Look, let's talk before we move on. Let's talk about Muay Thai. Explain to my audience, particularly some of the women out here, why Muay Thai work.
Well, Muay Thai works because, as I said, I just did a video talking about intuitive arts and then rational arts. You have intuitive arts like Wing Chun, Tai Chi, Pa Kwa. Those are intuitive. Then you got the rational arts, which is kicking, punching, and wrestling. And to me, no system puts kicking and punching together as good as Muay Thai. I know karate is the Don Dada. take nothing away from a true karate man. To all my karate people listening, love you, nothing but respect. But when it comes to like really powerful punches and kicks, Muay Thai has to be the art for it. And their idea of, you know, attacking the lower limbs with the kicks really drew me in because, you know, kicking is a very tricky art. You know, kicking for people head and high kicking, you know,
It's dangerous.
it's dangerous. But in a real time situation, kicking at that lower base, oh, that will save your life because most people you will run in don't even know how to have a good fighting stance. So they're suckers for a good leg kick. So I always tell people, if you looking for a good kicking art that puts punches and like they have a good answer for when the gap closes because they go to knees and elbows, Muay Thai is the art, baby. You know, it's one of the, out of the rational arts, it's one of the top-notch arts. The only thing they missing is a good wrestling game. But when it comes to stand-up, they stand-up game is top choice, like top.
And since you mentioned that, you know, we're overtaken. Boxing has been overtaken by MMA.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, you know, I always say, look, I love the arts. I love boxing. I love the physicality of, you know, good sportsmanship and pugilism, right? And but you know, MMA is like human cockfighting, man. I mean, any given night, it don't matter. You get caught, and it's a wrap.
Well, after I did the Golden Gloves thing, the next thing they threw at me was like, well, like, could you do it with an MMA student? Could you take 52 in MMA? And I did. Shout out to Christian the Wolf. He's turned a professional. His next fight, I cornered him for 9 of his amateur fights in the MMA, and we took 52 into the MMA. And that's some tough shit. Because as you said, one thing about MMA that makes it a tough sport and nothing but love to any brother that engages in that art is that you have to be a master of 3 of the arts I just know. 3 of the rational art. You have to be a master at kicking, punching, and wrestling. Now, the way your brain works, your brain is not going to master all 3. Like you're going to lean towards one no matter how hard you try.
Right.
And there's just not enough time in your life to become a master at kicking, punching, and punch and wrestling. So what happens with them is that when I was there, I was backstage getting, this is a funny story, I was getting Wolf ready for a fight, and there was this guy back there. And, you know, whenever you do the pads, other coaches they start doing pads to kind of outdo you. And this guy was outdoing us. He was pat, 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 slip, 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 pat, 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 pat. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's good. So, I was like, I want to see him fight. So when he was going out to fight, he was coming out. It was a white dude. He was coming out to rock music. They let you come out to your own music. But the dude he was fighting, I just heard Biggie Smalls music. I'm like, Biggie Smalls? Black dude come out with a scully cap. Scully cap on. He just had a scully cap on. It was hot as a motherfucker in there. I already know what's about. I'm like, I don't know. So they got in the ring, and the brother didn't even put his hands up. He had his hands at his side. So the white dude, he put his hands up. He was the man. He started, getting into his boxing thing. The brother caught a couple, picked him up, dropped him on his neck, backed away from him. So he stood back up. He wasn't deterred though. He was like, okay. He got back in his form. He came in with the hook. The brother slipped the hook, picked him up, dropped him on his face.
Ooh!
After the second drop, the fight was slowly leaving him. The brother seen this. Now he's not waiting. Now he's moving towards him. He's scraping them all against the cage. He's smashing them. It was just like he picked them up and was just smashing them.
Like a gorilla. Like a gorilla.
Like a gorilla. Like, yeah.
The people's elbow.
It was ugly. So I'm sitting on the sides. Now, as a coach, you got to think, what do you tell your fighter against him? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does skill serve against this man? Like, you could have been highly skilled at whatever. This guy came to he came for one thing, pick you up and put you down on your face. And he
On
was
your face, on your
on your
neck.
face. And he ended up winning the belt. He was the winner of the night. He was the winner. So I give props to them MMA guys because, like you said, you can be the best kicker and then get knocked out. You can be the best wrestler and get kicked in your head. You can be the best kicker and get choked out. It's any given night. It's any given night.
That reminds me of that slogan: never underestimate the power of brute force.
Oh, whoa, never. Like that brother there, I don't even know his name, but salute to you, brother. It was incredible. Like he changed my whole life. I was ready to say, fuck this training shit. We might as well just get guns. Because I'm saying, like, what do we do? I think we wasted time. Because if you run into this brother here,
he fainting, scooping you, and dumping you.
He's scooping and dump. That was his move. He did no other move. He ain't throw no punches. He picked you up and dropped you down. No, and he didn't care how he dropped you. He didn't have to. Because you signed the waiver saying that you could die. So if he killed you in there, he wasn't even caring about how you was landing. This brother was vicious.
With a skull cap on.
Yeah, this brother I think he was trying to catch a body. I said, this brother's trying to kill somebody.
And he won for the night.
He wanted one for the night. And it was ugly. And I told my fighter, I was like, you's a bad man, but if it was up to me, I would tell you to do boxing. Right. Get this MMA shit. Right. We can go do some boxing and get way more money. More money. But those brothers, that thing is rough. Any given Sunday.
That's incredible. Okay, so look, I don't want to hold you much longer. I know you had a long day, but I want you to share with my audience. I'm here with Lyte Burly, 52 Blocks Master, on Supreme Wisdom Wednesdays Fight Club. That's what I call it.
Fight Club,
baby.
That's right. Bring your gloves. Bring your mouth.
Bring your gloves to Fight Club, man.
That's
on the
right.
Derek Muhammad Show. Make sure y'all go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and also pick up a copy of my book, Guerrilla Film Grind, at Derek Muhammad. Okay, right. And make sure you check out Lyte Burly.
Yes, sir.
.com 52 LyteBurly.com. That's what
LyteBurly.com.
And hit your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel is Lyte Burly.
The YouTube channel is 52 Blocks Info. 52 Blocks Info.
Go there. Sir. Okay, so look, sir. What you got going on now, man? What
I did was my base was in New York. I came down here to Georgia because I wanted to be in the heart of it with my brothers and sisters are out here doing well, and I wanted to make the explosion from 52 down here. So I got slap boxing tournaments coming. I got the online course. We jumping. CT Fletcher reached out to me, man. I'm gonna go meet CT Fletcher. I met the homie Ludacris. He told me, if I brought it down to Georgia, he'd show some love. So we just out here in Georgia, and we're gonna we're gonna really make it explode from here,
Right.
And then I was comfortable in New York, and I was listening to this guy named David Joggins, I think. He was a Marine, and he was talking about discomfort. He said, man, if you're comfortable, you need to go find you some discomfort. And I was comfortable in New York. So I moved down to Georgia for some discomfort, and I'm going to start my 52 block thing down here big. COVID kind of sat it up for a little while, but 2021, we're going to jump out there, and it's going to be big. We building the army, man. And right now, my brothers and sisters are they clamoring for it. They hitting me up like, we want this. We want this right now.
But let me just say this: they can take online classes.
Yeah. Yes. The online classes, man. Peace to my brother that helped me put the online classes together. My partner in crime, he reached out to me, and the online classes, we doing well, man. It was one of the best moves I ever made. I truly believe it's going to be the legacy. It's going to be one of my biggest legacies is that online class because it makes it accessible for everybody to learn. Take tests to become an instructor. I test you personally. If you in town, you get it personal. If you out of town, we do it, over the, we FaceTime it, but we get it done. And once you get it done, I come see you. Like I had a guy that just did it in Denmark. I flew to Denmark. You know, I'm a man of my word. If you complete that course, I'll come to you. And I just had another young brother out there in Ohio. He just became an instructor. So in September, I'm flying to Ohio because even though you got that paper that you're an instructor, you ain't an instructor until you come get these hands from Lyte Burly.
That's
so I
right.
gotta come dance on your face.
That's
You know
right,
what I'm saying?
right. You gotta come get
I gotta
Christian.
initiate you.
Right, you gotta get
initiate
Christian in that body, right?
Yeah, I gotta break the bottle.
I know that's right. So, okay, because I want people to make sure, like, I don't want them to have to wait. Like, at least go sign up to the online class, especially you ladies out there. It's a wild, wild world out here.
That's right. Get your defense on.
Yeah, so come get some of that.
Not everything is not a fight.
Right. Come get some of that training. Come get some of that understanding. Get some of that discipline that my man shared. It's only what, $20 for the month or something like that?
$20 a month. Listen, you ain't going for the information we giving up. That's bottom of the barrel because I wanted everybody to get it. Like when I started it, the guy was like, you know, you've been doing it for a minute. It should be like $50 a month. And I was like, nah, I want it to be affordable. I want it to be something that can work. And I put my heart into it. You know, like I really put the fundamentals in it. I make it fun. Like, you know, I didn't want to be serious with it. So I try to make it as fun as possible. And after the finished product, I was really proud of it. And to see people certifying through it and going the full 15 months, because it's pretty much a 15-month program, you know, really let me know that it's dope. Salute to all that.
Salute
man. My support is great. My support is great. To everybody who support me, I got to tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I love you. Like, it would be no Lyte Burly without you. And, you know, this is a dream come true. Like, you know, I was a 12-year-old kid dreaming of being a famous 52 block fighter. So you can't imagine how, you know, what I'm going through right now. Every day is a dream to me. I feel like Peter Pan. So
yeah,
you know,
man, ain't nothing wrong with the warrior, man. Yeah. The art of the warrior, bro. The warrior path,
man. Manifestation, and that's why I believe in the higher self more than everything, because I kept 52 in my head since I was a 12-year-old, and I was told what you have in your what you can see in your head, you can hold in your hand. And right now, I got 52 block apparel. I got 7 DVDs. I wrote a book. I got 3 ebooks out. If you go to lyteburly.com, you'll see it. 8 digital downloads. We got apparel. We got a book. We got 3 ebooks. You know, more to come. So what you see in your head, you can hold in your hand. That is a fact.
Man, salute to the alchemist in you, brother. Salute. The alchemist and the warrior in you, brother. I'm honored, and it's a pleasure. I'm honored to have you on my show, man. I got to bring you back in the future, man.
I'm with that. Bring me back. Fight night.
Fight night. And look,
listen, we can do it,
man. I want divine blessings and for you to get everything the universe is open up to you, brother. So you can be one of the greatest ones in the history.
Salute. Same to you. The Derek Muhammad Show. You got it. If you ain't tuning in, you ain't in the right spot. The brother got big things going on. He bringing us together. Wisdom Wednesdays, Fight Night.
Yes,
you heard
sir.
It right here. Lyte Burly approved this message. Smash the like button, man. Smash the like button.
Yes, man. Look, it's been a pleasure, Lyte, man. You stay up, bro. God bless you, man. And until next time. I think everybody, make sure y'all go hit the subscribe button to Derek Muhammad Show. Go to lyteburly.com. Buy him on YouTube. Buy his course. It's gonna protect you. It's gonna save your life, because the best defense is self-defense. I'm your host. That's right. I'm your host. May the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Oh, and make sure, for everybody out there who have not got a copy of my book, Guerrilla Film Grind, How to Make a Movie for Little or Nothing, go there, go get the book. You owe it to yourself and support your brother from the East.
Get that.
Yes, sir. All right, until next time.
To the next time,
bro.
Salute.